Hey everyone, welcome to Waves of Wellness, which we affectionately call WOW, number 43. And I'm just so excited today because we have a topic that Cynthia is very, very fond of. And so before we start with that, though, I just want to officially welcome everybody and ask if there's anybody who is brand new to WOW. Lena, really? Okay, unmute so we can officially welcome you.
This is my first official visit. Yes.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here. Yay, Lena. Okay, is there anybody else? Going once, going twice. No? Okay, excellent. And then you guys all know that we're here to support you, here to help you support your device and the wave that's running through it, because we know it's actually the wave, not the device, that's doing the work. And also for after your do-over, so that when you're on the other side of this blessing, that you already have instilled in you healthy habits. And my counterpart here, my cohort, is Dr. Gloria, who, I know you guys all know her, and she's fabulous. She brings so much wisdom to the table. But today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. And our guest today is Dr. John Pro, who is from MAC. He is Darlene's other half. And if you guys haven't met him before, he is quite wise. And today we're going to discuss neuro-linguistic programming, NLP for short. And so, Dr. John, first of all, welcome to WOW, and tell us a little bit about what brought you to NLP. You have to unmute, my dear.
Ta-ta-ta-da. I thought you guys should just read lips and then you would understand the whole program immediately. Now, 30 years ago when I was in chiropractic school, when my brain was the funnel was very open, I could take a lot of stuff in very fast. So I was introduced to this by Dr. Greg Cheatwood. He was a chiropractor that did this and did seminars, and we took several seminars on it. So 30 years ago, got involved with it. It was another sort of side adjunct to being able to use your language and your words and touch and things as a chiropractor. That's one of your key tools. And so if you're trying to encourage a healing behavior or somebody overcoming trauma or things like that, you are able to talk them through or use the words to literally break a spell. I mean, when you get traumatized and you get locked into a pattern, sometimes you need, slapping somebody in the face to say wake up is a little too blatant. So we have to do something subtle. So I tell people, if I make this face, that's a car accident, and the people come in and that's anchored. We call it anchoring when something gets imprinted, stuck, you're frozen in that moment. Their breathing is almost always screwed up, So I can ask everybody here, what was your first breath like on this planet? How do they sell it on
I'm
TV?
going to guess,
You got spanked on the bottom, so that pattern is set for life in a lot of ways. Anybody see a water birth before?
No, that would be really cool. Marianne and
she's
Dr.
seen it too.
Gloria
So
have.
they get a little pool or a tub or whatever, and the baby's born, and it comes and it's still connected to its milk cord, and it's breathing that way until you can gently bring it around, clean it, and it's really cool. It's really cool. Seems really natural, but you don't have that same traumatic, kickoff to things.
So do you want me to share the PowerPoint, or are you going to share it?
You can share and I'll comment. I would like to just as we augment this, because the PowerPoint's kind of self-explanatory as an introduction, but I can maybe go along and do examples,
Yeah, that would be great.
practice something
I
like
just,
that, you know?
I just kind of want to make sure that we hit all the main points as well as keep it timely because they have the meditation after this.
Yes,
Okay. So let me just ask you some questions as we go through this.
right.
So when you said earlier, I can't remember the word you used, but imprinted, something like that. What I'm curious is why do you think they came up with programming? Because we have been taught in, recent years that programming is more of a negative thing, but I know that NLP is very positive.
Well, yes, and just to be clear, like this is not a hypnosis technique. Just as the closest parallel would be to that, okay? But program your brain neurologically is a program. It functions, okay? It takes in data, information, it integrates everything. That's my phrase. The brain is the biological, integration network. So it takes in all of these experiences. Okay, as an example, real quick, you're at a picnic, and you're having hot dogs and sodas and things, potato salad, and you get stung by a bee, and you have like an anaphylactic reaction. Okay, your body, the integrator, will mark everything in your system at that moment as being a danger. So now you can't eat hot dogs, you can't eat buns, you can't, bread. You have all these reactions to these different things that were tagged at the instant something happens. Okay. And for many of the things that we go through here, it becomes embedded in the body as a survival mechanism. So that's why we call it programming. Who here has heard of muscle memory?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no such thing.
No
A
such
muscle, a
thing.
muscle remembers nothing. It's a brain pattern. Okay.
Oh, so
Your movement, the movement that you used to do, if I could do this, okay, I'm not memorizing it. My fingers don't do this automatically. It's a pattern in the brain. So that's why we're programmed. We're using our internal computer system to use it to figure things out and to
okay.
make things efficient for us.
So going back to the hot dog example, would you call that like a loop? Like a
Yeah, there's another neurologic term we have called wind-up phenomenon. Okay, so the body, it's like if you have a traumatic event, it's like whacking the pendulum on a grandfather clock, and the pendulum just keeps swinging. You don't have to keep hitting it; it's all by itself. It keeps going, going, going. And the trick with NLP programming is to try to get in and figure out what was the trick and what got you started, and try to put something in and stop the pendulum.
Okay, so would it be almost like everybody has programs that they've created throughout their lifetime? And I think a better word might be NLP reprogramming. So we're taking those programs and we're actually shifting them so that they support us rather than hurt us. Would you say
Yes.
that's a good?
Yeah, or we can come up with a software patch or a substitute program. Or I
Okay.
mean, 30 years ago, we didn't have, we were just getting into the computer age, the way they explained all this, and having used this for many, many years. They now use this NLP basis, okay? They claim there's not a lot of scientific validation to it. It's hard to duplicate in studies because it's individual. It's an art form for someone to go in to figure out what's going on with you. But AI uses this methodology now to analyze language, okay, and how to create their own response and programs now. So it's sort of in a comeback phase for computer language, if you will.
Mm. Is that kind of what Cliff High does?
Nah, nah.
Oh,
He
okay.
measures the weight of chatter, which is how many times this computer program measures how many times words are being said and how they're being said and that kind of stuff, and he generates a probability that something is trending or whatever.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're going to talk about using NLP to move forward and how to get both feet all in. How appropriate is that? For anybody that was at our Friday call, right? All in.
Right.
Okay.
So we have this whole automatic response, and this is based on everything that we are. So all of our life experiences, the things we're told, the things that we're told to believe, and how we function and go through all this stuff. And there are moments when, I mean, this is primarily directed towards overcoming traumatic experiences, and but in terms of a motivational standpoint for here, how to get really committed to a project is, what are your belief systems? Really, what do you believe about something, or that would inhibit you from going forward? What's an example along these things is to say that, well, I can give my personal example of swimming, learning to swim. And I was just learning to let go of the gutter. And the teacher says to my mom, "Hey, he's doing really good. He's a good swimmer. Let's put him in the advanced class." Well, the next class I went to, and I don't know, 5 or 6, it was 8 and 9-year-olds in the advanced class going off the diving board in the deep end. I just finished letting go of the gutter. So all of a sudden now, all of my programs are collapsing together, going fear, danger, this is not, good and everything. And I made a lot of, I call them contracts. We call them emotional contracts that happen under stress, but it's just the same as a program. This is a dominant program, and it's not to be done away with, because it'd be unsafe. Not true, but when I went to the Naval Academy, we had to do a 10-meter jump every semester, which is 33 feet. That's like blowing up the diving board scenario. So I have to do some of my own, and that was pre-learning about NLP and everything. But my overcoming that fear was, well, it's only one step, and everybody else is doing it. So you got to get over it, or you'll get kicked out of here. So
Wow, that's
the
high.
negatives were bad. Yeah. So these try to uncover, the NLP tries to uncover your unconscious, your things you're unaware of that are blocking you. But a program that was put in somehow to serve a purpose in your past, some of it's survival stuff that is no longer a useful, belief system.
Well, it must be powerful, because Cynthia has gone through a lot of leadership training, and her very favorite leadership training was Tony Robbins. And, the whole walking on coals experience and all of that. And she said that it's NLP. And so
Yeah.
it must be pretty powerful.
The motivational speaking aspect of something at a seminar revs people up. We can all fly off the building. I did the walk in West Palm Beach one time at a seminar too, like that, but you take hours and hours of talking and getting everybody in and motivated, and yes, and we go. Except for the people that maybe are, really stuck. And then those are the few people that we pay attention to try to help out and bring everybody along. And it just gives you a new program. It gives you a new program of confidence. And that's what we do with it. I don't, if you guys ever, what was the movie with, I sound like Biden now, with Jack Black, where he meets Robbins in an elevator, and he he could never get any girls to go out with anything, and Robbins tells him, "You're only going to see the inner beauty in every woman you meet." I can't remember the name of the movie. Gosh darn it, it's horrible. But anyway, he starts going out, and he does. These girls are overweight, or they're homely looking and everything, but they put like a model like Gwyneth Paltrow in this picture, and he only sees the beauty in all these people, and it was a really cool
Shallow
movie.
Hal.
Shallow Hal, that's it. There you go.
I
Yes.
just looked it up.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yes. It's but the point of that with Tony and all that stuff is that if you can get the suggestion in, you'll receive it. Can we go both feet into this whole organization? Yes, we can. And we'll get to that in a little bit, how we say yes we can convincingly. So
Cool. So the 4 core principles of NLP.
right. So the sensory input, as I described, the brain and the integration is, to be, mindful of our actions and see if we're going automatic into something or we bump into a resistance somewhere. And we would look into that. Building rapport, successful interactions, right, with people in business as well. It's also, this outcome thinking, directing our thoughts to make optimal choices rather than just plow through something. We like this thing is like having a deck of cards that we can just pull out appropriately and use the card and it says, hey, go do this, go do that for somebody. The behavioral flexibility, right, allows us to adapt our programming to what we need to accomplish our goals.
Okay.
Rapport. Here's an example of building rapport. Okay. And this is if you had a one-on-one meeting with somebody in NLP, you would match their breathing. Okay. We call it pacing and leading. So you would, if I'm nodding or I'm turning and looking up to the right, I'll look up to the right when you look up to the right. I'll breathe the same rate you're breathing. And if you're kind of freaking out, I'll try to breathe that way and then change it over to something that's calm. And we can do all this stuff. It all sounds like, magical, crazy stuff. But the best example we had for building rapport without even a person knowing it was our going to the mall exercise. Between seminars, we were tasked to go to the mall, the Galleria in Dallas, and we'd pick somebody. We'd walk the mall. We'd pick somebody walking 3 or 4 or 5 people in front of us, and we would match and mirror every move they made. And within 10 seconds, the people would turn and start looking around. They'd be like, they knew somebody was in their field being just like them. And
Wow.
they wanted to see who it was.
They
Okay.
felt it.
So in a meeting or we're trying to bring somebody along for something, we do this, matching and mirroring and pacing and all these things to get them at ease to receive the information we'd like to help them with.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it is really an art form to practice and study and learn, and it can be very, very helpful to get people over tough situations.
Well, and I like the outcome thinking principle because it goes along with vision. So many people are stuck in the mud of their now, and they don't realize that they have the power to change their now by focusing on their desires and what they want to achieve. And that, history does not create your now. You can move past that. Like, what is it? Your past, your history's no, that's future. What's that phrase that's like all we have is today, and that's why we call it the present? Do you know what one I'm talking about?
I've
Well,
heard it. It's not coming to my brain right
me either.
now.
And
Yeah,
all the times I need it. But it's
it
like I
is.
find that so many people they get stuck, and that goes along with the behavioral flexibility because so many people are rigid in their patterns. And so after looking at this slide, it's my belief that it's all about being more willing to change and do things to help you achieve the goals that you're after.
Right.
Yeah.
And with respect to an organization, okay, the most important thing is to always go back to the mission. So SEAL teams, as an example, there, you have to be very precise and you have to know what you're doing and what everybody else is kind of doing to work together. Fill in if somebody's missing. So it's always most important to outline and define what the mission is. We're going to bring healing technology to all the people on the planet. Everything after that is a detail. And we don't need to fight over those details. We need to go back and remember step 1, right? The old thing, refer to step 1, right? So these kind of things are, if you're having any problems or you're not buying into the whole, buy-in is a bad term, but I mean, if you're not committing yourself to this whole mission that's being given, then if you want to do that, why aren't you able to get there?
Well, I honestly feel that our members right now, the focus is on them strengthening themselves and being ready to be ready, because so many of the members aren't at the top of their game in their health journey. So I feel like that's what's keeping them stuck in the mud, is maybe exhaustion or pain but once they're well and once they've come to the other side, then they're going to be able to, like yesterday's call. I don't know if you saw it, John, but it was fabulous. Our volunteer call was so good because Cynthia was talking about the vision and where we're going and what we're doing and getting people ready to be ready. So, but at this point, I feel like we want to work on ourselves so that we have the tools that we personally need to jump in and support the organization,
Right.
So, okay, what's this one about?
Your internal map. Okay. And this goes back to that program. A map is a program that the brain, I call it a subroutine. So you have, I've never driven in Boston before, so I don't have any map in my mind. I don't know what to do. But now we use an assistance with GPS. We could say, well, here's Boston and a representation. Okay. It helps you to navigate the terrain or the situation you're in. And they call it an operating system, and the computer updates our analogies are really well here. That's why they're using this, not for computer language, but the over here is an example of some kind of sensation or experience giving you unpleasant or pleasant memory. So my personal experience with this was I was having a massage at a Bath and Racket Club, and outside the door was this basket with like 300 tennis balls in it. And I'm about halfway through this massage. I'm nice and relaxed. I'm about to fall asleep. Somebody moved the cart outside in the hallway, and it squeaked. It just went squeak. It just did a quick squeak. My brain collapsed with that sound because our brain likes to match. Where did I hear that before? What does it go to? Is it dangerous? What are we doing? That's your subroutine. Mine collapsed to a memory I've never even had, other than having the actual experience. But I was laying in a bed, looking to my left, 3 other beds in there, and the door, and a cart was being pushed through the door, had ice cream on it for when I had my tonsils out. Now, mind you, I'm like 35 years old doing this, at the time, and going, whoa, I mean, clear as a bell, like I suddenly was watching a TV show. I was like, where'd that come from? Well, that matched the frequency of the sound. This is one of the reasons, if you go to buy a car, they always have a popcorn machine in the dealership. Oh, think of the movies, and you're eating popcorn at the movies. It's wonderful. It's a great experience. Well, they do that kind of thing to play with your sensations here. And that's just an example of doing that kind of thing. Hearing something, hearing a tone. This is where the meditations come in handy. You hear the same meditation each time. You can get in quicker and deeper each time you hear that. If you're accepting yeah.
When I did the meditation on Tuesday after the key call, it was crazy because I literally went into a deep sleep. My Aura Ring measures that. And I was literally in a deep sleep for over 10 minutes in the middle of the day, which usually that doesn't happen. You're more in a REM sleep, but I couldn't get up. I couldn't get out of it. So just so you know, if anybody today after our meditation, if I don't come to, I need somebody to help lead the rest of the call because I could not get out of it. So, but at the beginning, I wasn't like that. So that makes a lot of sense, John.
But you're here. You did get out of it.
Well, eventually, 2 days later. Awesome. That's a great example.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Even positional things. There's another quick example of this. Okay. I'm in chiropractic school going to a seminar, and I walked into the room, and all the chairs are kind of lined up this way, and the podium's up here, and there were no chairs left except for one in the very corner of the room over here. So I have to go sit in this chair. I'm facing the podium, and all the classes all those other people are here. And I started 15 minutes into it. I was getting nauseous. I was sick to my stomach. I went at the first break. I told my friends, I've got to go home. I got food poisoning or something. And I slept for a day and a half. And I didn't know what it was. And when I got to Florida, my job here, I was doing some counseling work and work with a gentleman in here. And it came to me one day what it was. It was the damn dunce chair in third grade in the front of the classroom, shaming me to have everybody look at me for having talked and spoken. And at 30, whatever it is, 33 years old, 35 years old, I had a physical gut reaction to being shamed again just by being put in that position. So that's why this stuff's so fascinating to me with NLP, because that stuff's hidden in there. If you have a sudden reaction like that, it'd be like, well, something brought that on. That's an old program.
Yeah, that's powerful that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stays there dormant.
Yep.
Is there a way to clear all that out? Because so many people are probably completely unaware of that.
Right. Well, that's first slide is the, situation awareness where we're looking at what's happened and to recognize that I'm having some kind of a reaction that is over reacting to the stimulus that's around me, stuff that's going on. Sometimes it's just a pleasant memory of, I'm going to get ice cream any minute. And the other one is that you're being shamed. And if you've read Power versus Force and David Hawking's material, he does the whole scale of human consciousness, and shame and guilt are the two lowest vibrations for humans. So our whole schools, I mean, I get going on a tangent, but I mean, our whole school systems were built on that. And if you were raised in a Catholic school, you knew very well what that meant. Right. So those are programs though that are in you, and you'll be surprised. I mean, I challenge somebody that went to a Catholic school. You go into a room and snap a ruler on the desk and see what happens. They're going to have a flashback. Okay. Just like I did. And it's just, it takes time really to do this. This is a very great tool, but it does take you time to understand yourself as you work through this, and then you find where your programs need to be rewired, and you go to, if your computer breaks with a virus, you take it to some tech, right? Unless you're really good at computers.
Mhm.
And they go in that, I paid how much you just took you 30 seconds to fix my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I'm a tech. And so anyway, yeah, this sort of is an introduction to really getting in there and seeing if you have something in there that can be helped.
And this is an introduction, you guys. So we want to give you an overview of NLP. And then John has some books he can guide you to. I have another resource that I'm using right now that I'm helping myself. So we can guide you to further, but this is just to kind of whet your appetite. Because if Cynthia recommends something, usually I want to know more about it. And John is our resident expert. So that's why we started there. So what's this about?
So the model, logical levels of change. I mean, it just kind of says here, the setting and people around that are most accessible places to modify something. So, this is the person that can't cross a street. They have a phobia of something, right? So we can talk them through on a reroute that keeps the mind busy, and eventually we take them on a winding tour, through all these different streets in their town, and then we put them. Well, can you be on this street? Yeah. Can you be on Baker Street? Yes. Can you be on Apple Blossom Lane? Yes. And then you stop and you realize you crossed the street you couldn't cross.
They tricked them.
So now they can now the brain starts going like, really? So, I can do that. And then you rehearse it and you practice it some more. Behaviors, they're self-reinforcing and things that are easily triggered. So these are things that we are conditioned to believe or respond growing up. If you have siblings, you'll know the whole battle. How all that stuff happens, okay? But what you don't want to do is you don't want to take your sibling experiences and how you negotiate with siblings and take that to a business environment and treat somebody like you would your brother or sister, or, you know, that kind of thing. So it's understanding what your behaviors and things that set you off like that. And it's very easy. I mean, somebody in business can set you off like your brother does, and you don't even realize you're having this, you know, nails, you know, claws and everything come out. You're like, what's that all about? You know?
Yeah,
And
we definitely need to
belief,
compartmentalize there.
yeah, you know, beliefs and values. So these are really, really critical right now. The the most fundamental set of brainwashing and beliefs is religion. So if you're a deeply religious person, I don't mean to offend you, but it's, I gotta go out, Mom. Yeah, go ahead. So if you believe in some system, then the question is it all inclusive? Is it exclusionary? Or can other options, you know, be either incorporated or listened to? Um, I've my personal experiences, I've had some just bad experiences with anybody in my life personally that quotes scripture. If they come at me quoting scripture, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I listen and see, and I've been taken advantage enough times, and I just was like, no. And I I put it to a guy one time who was trying to witness me, and I said, look, let's be clear, okay? Witnessing is how you confirm your belief. You're not going to sway me to do anything. I said, but when you witness, you're only reinforcing a behavior that you doubt yourself, and you'll do that with repetition. So, and then other people, I don't know, that's just my personal angle on something like that, but it could be a belief about anything, you know. You believe in UFOs? Well, you're insane. There's no such thing, you know. Really? I mean, you have the totality of knowledge to tell me that I'm wrong, because you don't know that. I use it even more so with our physical conditioning. So here we are in QHS, people experiencing health revelations and growth and change. I have to ask somebody, when you start giving me advice about something, I go, and I've learned this over 30 years of my practice. Where did your breakfast go this morning? Which molecules in your body got which molecules from the breakfast? If you can tell me which eyelash has a piece of egg in it, okay, I'll know you know what you're talking about. Otherwise, you're guessing like the rest of us. You're gathering information, you're processing it, putting it through the computer, and you formulate something. If you have a success with that, you create a subroutine, a new program that says, "Hey, this works for me." Uh, that doesn't mean it works for everybody. So confirm your speaking language. Oh, so Tracy, I just got a thing on my screen popped up. It says confirm your speaking language. It sounds like you might have switched to a different language.
No, I didn't touch anything.
And mine says Russian.
Yeah, I
Now,
didn't touch anything. It's got to be one of those Zoom
well,
free.
here's the irony. Well, maybe. But let's use that as a perfect example of the computer's listening to me speak. Okay. My last name is Prokopiak. Okay. I am from, my father's side of the family is from the area in Western Ukraine, Czech Republic, Poland, all in that area. So there's something in my dialect that the computer is sensing, like you're speaking with some version of that. You sneaky little computer, you.
Oh, yeah, they're not
So,
supposed to be listening to us, but they do.
well, I know, and they're trying to help me, because make up your mind. How are you going to speak? But it was, thank you, computer, for stepping in and providing yet another option, you know, of how this kind of stuff works. So
So are you on identity now?
yes, this is the thing. This is the thing that is, yeah, we're just who we are. When you look at that, well, I'm just who I can't change, and I don't, you know, you don't want to change. Here's where there's a key set of words to use in this situation. Okay. And how many people have, when you ask to do something, I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. That's not true. Unless you've done it or not done it, you don't know. But can't is a word that implies victimhood. So we're studying words, linguistic words, okay? Now, if I said I won't do that, I will not do that. That's pretty clear-cut willful. There's no explanation necessary. Well, I can't do that because I've got a sore toe. Okay. No, just I won't do that. And people are conditioned, this is our identity and conditioning, that we can't just accept the word no in society. Hey, do you want to come have drinks with us? No. No what? What? Why not? Don't you like me? Okay, so it's like a slap in the face, but we just no, it's just no, we just accept it and go on.
Yeah.
Use the powerful words going forward. I choose to do that. And we try to talk about that in Destiny, fulfillments and things like that, where the words you have to use are very, very specific and wordy.
And
I'm
it
yeah.
reminds me of that story with John Bannister when they used to think it was impossible to run a sub 4-minute mile. And then everybody thought, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. And then all of a sudden they saw that somebody did, that all of a sudden that possibility was out in the open. And then it was like one after another, people were running a sub 4.
If the first monkey can do it, 29 other men did it within 2 months.
Yeah. I think that's a great
You
story.
can do the wall. That's great, So, yeah, and we get down here at the bottom one is, purposes and spirituality, morals, ethics, religious constraints. They're, there's a lot of rules that are incorporated in that. I distinctly remember I'm a recovering Catholic. And I remember I had to go to confession. I'm getting getting ready for my confirmation, and I have to go sit in this. I remember this, that just like today, big church, all the pews, and I'm kind of on the right-hand side in the middle somewhere, and okay, say 12, Hail Marys and, 8 Our Fathers. And I'm like, how's that going to do anything? I mean, it was an interesting experience. And so I have a broader spiritual experience and questioning and evaluation for that stuff, and it's still not clear.
Yeah. Some things
So
are meant to be a mystery. Okay, we just
yeah.
like 5 or 6 more here.
Okay, so anchoring is a beautiful thing. Is taking using a word or phrase or a gesture while you're conditioning or you're working somebody through it, and say, look, when you get to the edge of Oak Street, okay, you're going to be able to go across it, and I can just either touch their hand. I would squeeze their hand if we're standing there on Oak Street or something, as an example, right? So you give them some kind of a physical thing to do this frame of mind, or if they've actually accomplished something, you anchor that with some kind of touch or word. So let's say it's a complex thing, and we have our safe words that they used to talk about for things. But I mean, I would just use you could just use something like tree stump. It doesn't have any relation to anything. And you would ask somebody while they're doing something, well, what about the tree stump? And they're like, then their brain accesses. They use that word to access the program. When we were on the WOW call, and I was using the idea. It's another thing coming up here called near the end is linkage, but we'll cover it now. But linkage is the sales techniques people use to get you to say yes. Okay, so they use a string of statements that your subconscious will always answer yes to. And we were doing this with Willie in our group in there, and he had a tropical background, palm tree, headphones on. And so I said to Willie, I said, well, Willie, you have a tropical background, you have a palm tree, your headphones are on. And I says, you want to give me $20? And everybody chuckled, ha, 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 like this. So about 3 minutes later, we're talking, and I just butted in and said palm tree. And Willie went like this. His head involuntary. He looked up. That's my palm tree. He looked right up. And I'm like, gotcha. I'm in. And it can be used for manipulation, or it can be used for positive stuff too. So we use these things with, linkage, get you to say, yes, that's what we want to do. So if you're trying to be motivated to go forward here, how do we get you to agree to go all in on this? How do we agree? I'm hesitant to do this because, okay, let's work around that. And let's do some other exercises and activities to try to get you there.
And we're going to start working on some of this stuff and break it down in great detail in God Spark Nation in a few weeks, so that everyone can really do a deeper dive on it. So let's go back up here to swish.
Okay. So this is really key. Okay. Mentally replacing the image of the usual response. So, when it becomes real important to do this, it's just a simple, we offer alternatives. So I can't cross Oak Street, but we can go down this way. We'll go on that way. We'll go, around thing. We'll take an airplane and we'll land on the other side of the road. I mean, ridiculous things, right? All these things to get the brain to go, I can cross that. I can end up from here to there. I can get there. Right. We have to work. I worked with a girl in school during this technique. It was interesting, but she came to visit me. I was studying and I was on the phone. I had a call going on, and she popped in. She wanted to be all, friendly and cheerful and everything. And I turned to her, and it was a serious phone call. And I says, "I'm on the phone. I'll get with you in a second." And she fell back against the wall. "Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Don't hit me."
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, there's that response, that program in there where I know you've been beat up and abused, and it was the tone of voice that said it in such a curt manner, and crazy. So I see these reinforcements all the time with this stuff, and it's kooky. So, but we want to change your pattern, and there's ways to go do the changing the pattern that we talk about doing. That's the
Okay.
next one.
There's two more. This is one
So
of
yeah, this is that's a big lot of gibberish words for feeling. We get into the deep associated feelings with something. When someone has a reaction and they emotionally lock up because it's so gut wrenching, like go sit in a corner chair, go sit in the corner of the room and you think about the shame that you caused the rest of the class. I'm like, I needed to reprogram that one for sure. And so this one here deals with all kinds of traumatic events and phobias, and it's to create during a session alternative scenarios, okay, that you could, we kind of call it either mapping on, or you take this on, or you accept that as a possibility, so that when you get locked up in this pattern, there's another option. And another quick example, okay, that swimming episode I had, all right, terrified, my knees are knocking, I don't know if they pushed me or I finally jumped and they had to get the hook and pull me out of the water. It was awful. Okay. It was the first time I ever said F you to my mom. But I made an emotional contract that I wouldn't trust my mom and I wouldn't do advanced things. I would not submit to going to advanced classes. So I stunted my achievement level with just that experience. But what happened was around, I don't know, 2010. So I was 5. So another, 40 years later, 45 years later, I'm watching Funniest Home Videos, and here's a kid, he's standing on the diving board and his knees are going like this. And I was like, oh my God, look at that. That's me. And he's standing, it's going on for like 10 seconds on the video. And I'm going, enough's enough. And then the screen shifted. Okay. It did a flip. We switched it. The mom was standing on the diving board holding the kid's arms, and dad was in the water, and the kid had safety with mom, and he knew he was going to jump to dad, and he jumped into the water. Okay. And I had never in my brain, in my programming, ever considered that. But when I saw that, I self-reprogrammed, and I said, that's what happened to me.
wow.
And I can remove the trauma from that experience, to say, yeah, it's okay take a dive and jump and, all those kind of things. So those are the kinds of things we want to work on with these things. And if you can find the books and do some of these things and practice some of the exercises just to see where you're at, it may give you options, and you don't have to be stuck in who you are, you can be more.
So did that experience that you saw on TV help you clear that phobia personally?
Oh, well, I don't call it a phobia. I'm cautious, but I know there's another. I knew I could rewire that program or rememorize it as that's what happened, and that gives me an option that it's not terrifying.
Okay, cool.
If my mom and dad were there and I jumped, and then it was because at the Naval Academy it's like one step and you fall, and you're like, if you've ever jumped 30 feet. You're sitting here going like this, look at your clock. It seems like forever. Of course, the guy behind me is on the dive team and he does a triple gainer like nothing, and you're like, so it's just because it's unique to every person. This isn't just like a cookbook that you can open up and do this. You've really got to know yourself and do that. So
That's comes with that first thing, self-awareness.
now, one other thing, back that up a little bit too. I noticed there's a thing about how we observe those moments. Okay, so we have what we call first person, third person. So
Oh, we're
first
back
person
here.
is I go through, and this is used in hypnosis quite a bit, but you experience the experience. So in my case of the diving board accident, to go back and experience that and my heart beating and shaking and everything, it'd be traumatic. But if I said to anybody that was watching and say, give me a description of what's going on here. And you say there's a young boy on a diving board, his knees are shaking, okay? And you don't draw a conclusion about it. You objectively say it, okay? As though you're observing and reporting. So this can be, it's like pulling yourself out of your body to see the condition, and that gives you the stability to be able to either come with a different experience or rewire the experience or give yourself options that you can choose from. So the objective observer really is a really key, situation to learn. Whenever you're having your own trauma, you want to pull out of that. Okay, more.
Awesome. Okay, one more, and then we'll open it up for questions.
We talked about this at the mall, mirroring. We want people to think that they're just like me, or we're just like them. The person that we're working with goes, he's just like me. He gets me. And you unconsciously will have that. So you'll meet people and you guys click. I clicked, or, there was no match, nothing matched in what this person was doing. And there's many, many layers to all of these things. And for things that can cause you to have these triggers, but just in the most simplistic, I don't know you from Adam. I'm over here talking to you and I want you to buy this car from me as a car dealer. And I got to get you to say yes, so, well, that's a lot of money for a car. He says, yeah, but it's only, $4 a day. You can afford that, right? Who can't afford $4 a day? Your coffee costs more than that. Yes, yes, yes. Sign here. Okay. No, I mean, I guess, Tracy, we should work on some more specific questions as we develop this, if we can, maybe.
Okay.
I
We
don't want
can
to
come
add,
back and do it another time too.
I don't want to
so.
add more work to your schedule, but, as we do this kind of thing. So, I mean, or if
So-
somebody else has some ideas, contact me. We can slice through it.
Yeah, we'll develop this further. So why don't you go ahead and do this last slide?
So it says a practical application of the totality of techniques and observances. Okay. And one of those things is we called it revealing your seduction strategy. How do I seduce somebody to buy a car or to marry me or to, get me to commit to do something? And there's a lot of those inner programs that we develop over time that works like a combination, a lock and a safe. And, some people go to 0 and hit the lever and they're there. They're wide open. Okay. and we would use, I mean, the example is how to motivate somebody to go do something, but the seduction part is sort of like a dating strategy. Like, how do you meet your partner, and how do you interact with somebody, and how do you know they're the right one? And well, there's all these different things that have to happen. If you're, we didn't briefly talk about this, but people learn in three dominant modes. So they're visually connected. If you see somebody who's a visual learner, they look up to the right, they're looking at the pictures. Okay. And if you're digital or auditory, that is, you hear the words or you read them. And if you're talking to somebody sometime, watch their eyes. If their eyes are darting back and forth, they're listening to the words go into their ears. And you know how to approach that person by speaking. You don't need to give visuals or pictures, or if you're kinesthetic, which is motion or feelings, they tend to look down and go, yeah, that feels good to me. Or I see what you're saying. Or that sounds good to me. So those are the three sort of little dominant methods that people use to process the information coming into the world. They did a test one time, and I know we're getting short on time, but it's important to point this out for children and learning and stuff. So they took material and they gave it to a class, and they used the three modes primarily in how they taught. And they got three bell curves. All the same students got the same bell curve, but the people that learned kinesthetically there were different people at the peak of the curve. So the A student that is digital can just hear the words and write them back down. Okay. They stink at, drawing pictures. So they weren't at the top of the class for that. So this is why when we try to train people in many things, we have to layer that. So we have the slideshow, and we have my voice, and I'm gesturing and gesticulating and all these kind of things. So we're trying to match all those layers together so that it sticks.
So I feel like NLP can be used for a variety of things. And the reason that we wanted it here is for you to use it to make your life better, is how you can reprogram your habits to make them stronger to support your goals, so that you're not stuck in the loops that you've created throughout the years, but that you can. And I feel like personally, when you remove something from your life, you leave a gap, you leave a void where your subconscious mind wants to fill that void, fill that gap. Okay. So with these tools, I feel that we can remove the things that don't serve us and bring in a tool that does, so that all of us have different goals. And then that way you can achieve your personal goals by using these techniques.
Tracy, what's the best age to be aware of stuff like this?
As soon as possible, I would imagine.
Now. Now I'm watching our screen, and we all are pretty much elder statesmen and women. We have lots of experiences, and we have lots of these programs. So the question is, how much is it who I am, or how much is it that we can stretch out and go move to the next thing? Here's a simple exercise for resistance to that. Drive a different way to the store. Go out of your way just once and see. I go to the same grocery store. I go on the aisle the same way, and every now and then I'll go the other way, or I'll just start in the middle, and I'll be like, it really, it throws the brain off. And so those are subtle little things that you can do to test your resistance to, can I change? Can I do this? And where am I stuck? Okay. Anybody here have stuck ways?
Yeah, I like how some people, like my husband, is very he's very uniform. He's very routine, and kind of like what you were saying. I, on the other hand, am like a free spirit. I never go into the grocery store through the same door, never go through the aisles in the same way. I'm just all over the place,
Look what you do. Look what you do, though. So you have that flexibility.
juggling all the plates.
You do, and it's exactly right. You have that flexibility to do those kinds of things, as opposed to, I got to do it this way.
Well, it
So-
does get me in trouble. I have overflowed the pool. I have burned things on the stove. I left meat on the barbecue. Do you guys remember that? I was in
I've
it. We
done
were
that.
in the call.
I've
Can't
done
remember
that.
what it was. And I had left all this steak on the barbecue and made it like leather. So there is a fallback to the way I do things. And so we all need to hone our skills. And it's funny, my old podcast, I remember I interviewed somebody and he's like, well, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. And I said, well, how am I ever going to learn anything new if the only people I interview are on the same page as me? So I feel that, and here's another distinction. Sometimes we need things to marinate a little bit. Okay. So sometimes you hear something for the first time and you go, I need to chew on that and see how that, is to me. And instead of just having that knee jerk, oh, that's not true, or another thing, but let things marinate with you and see if they can soak into your subconscious or not. And, we all can have differences of opinion and still be friends, right? Like Dr. Gloria and I are very close and we have a great deal of respect for each other, but we have differences of opinion in things, and that's okay. And our world used to be very open to that until about 4 years ago. And then it feels to me, at least in my experience, that it was my way or the highway. And if you were not on my team, then you were out. And so I would love, as we create this new world together, that we know, and we know that nobody knows everything. And it's always good to have an open mind and see what feels the best inside your heart. And that can change. Like, I don't want to go into it now because we have to do the meditation.
No,
But just be open-minded and know that this is a direction. And I hope you want to play this game with us, but we're going to learn more on how we can help ourselves and help other people in our sphere of influence. Because the better
Tracy, can I make a, go ahead.
yeah, please go for it.
Sorry.
No,
I was going to
no.
make a quick comment to Dr. John. What you said just really hit home. I mean, it got me very emotional because I have a brother who has severe PTSD from Vietnam. And when he came home, every time he'd hear a noise outside or a car would backfire, he'd go under the kitchen table. I mean, it was like, the gunshots. He was a helicopter mechanic in Nam who went out in the morning with his helicopter crew and brought his buddies back at night in body bags. So that's where his trauma came from. When I put him into counseling when he came home, this was before I became a doctor, the counselor used a technique like what you're talking about now. And he showed him that if he ducked under a table, it was because he was going to shield himself from the rain in Vietnam, not from the bullets. And it helped him. And today he's a pastor, he's a minister at the Air Force Base after
Great.
he had a full disability.
Well,
So what you're saying is so valuable because I saw it. I mean, we would all just go into tears. Like, what are we going to do with him?
Bless his heart.
hey, I
So,
was trained. I was
thank
trained
you
to go.
for,
You're welcome. I was trained to go under a desk. We all were.
were you?
Nuclear fallout, right? We
Right.
had drills
Right.
that
We
we're
weren't.
look out to the
Yeah.
playground, but get under your desk. I'm like, what?
Right.
But
Right.
I,
And for him, it was horrible trauma. I mean, it ruined his marriage and everything
Yeah.
else until we finally got together and had an intervention and had him with the right counselor, who was a very dear friend of the family. And that's how he got him out of it. And he went back to school. Military paid for it. Now he's helping veterans at the in Southern California at the Air Force Base.
I want to mention one thing regards to trauma like that, where this NLP can be a little bit longer to do, but it's an off-label use of a medicine called ketamine. And ketamine therapy, if you've had severe trauma, I'm getting Kelly's, clapping her hands and everything, that it's the thing that stops the pendulum. And then so then we do the therapies and we can go from there. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with all this and traumatic brain injuries from, all kinds of sports and everything. But
So, Dr. John,
Right.
will you please let them
That's-
know the books that you recommended last time we spoke about this?
so I went on Amazon to look around and there's three of them, and one of them is right back here in my picture there. It's called the Big Book of NLP. It's 350 pages. It has the exercises. It's, it's too much. There's also NLP for Dummies, which is always, those are always great reads for short, takes on it and things like that. But it's something to read through, and just see, like, the simplest exercises is trying to do something different from your routine. And it starts to see where your resistance is. Or when you believe an article, okay, I'll throw this out there real quick, okay? The Trump assassination was a complete production. It was a show. How many people here, real quickly, how many people fully believe in a magic show the girl is cut in half on stage? They put her in the box and they cut her in half. Does that really happen?
No.
Your eyes tell you it happened. Your eyes go, how's that, how'd that happen? So you can't, all the things that you see, in today's world, we have to think of as presentations. And so you bump up against those things. What is your reaction to the presentation? Do you buy it? Do you just accept it? Do you go back, carry on with it? And I don't do that anymore. So, interesting for all that stuff.
Dr.
And
John, it's been
lots more that can
fabulous.
happen,
Thank
but
you
I
for
know we got to
taking the
go.
time.
So, yeah, time's got to go.
But thank you. It's been extremely valuable.
I'll talk for 7 hours.
You're muted, Tracy.
We'll definitely have to have you back because I know this is something Cynthia wants to cover. So you and I will get together. And also we're going to be talking about this on Godspark Nation, just to help open everybody's minds and habits up to better possibilities so that we don't put limitations on ourselves and on our past, but we're able to move forward because we have important work to do. And I know that everyone here has that, they know that this is coming. And so we're going to be able to help people and help ourselves first. And so there's a lot to learn. And so I'm so thankful for you guys to be here. Thank you, Dr. John. Thank you, Gloria and Kelly and everyone for helping. And we will go ahead and get started on the meditation. Is there, I only pulled up the original, so I hope that's okay for everyone. Yeah. Okay. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Kelly, if you could help me with a sound check, that'd be great.
No sound.
And key. Before we begin, let's
That
take a
sounds
minute
okay.
to understand the power of our collective connection.
What happened to the sound now? That's weird.
It looks like you clicked off of it.
I just went to make it bigger.
Welcome to today's Miracle Moment meditation, brought to you by
Good.
QHS and Key.
Okay, I'll just leave
Before
it
we
there.
begin, let's take a minute to understand the power of our collective connection using the QHS technologies. When we gather, we exponentially magnify the quantum twine wave effect, delivering twine waves to each device and each one of us all over the world, including all members, even those without devices, the people you intend to support, and the earth itself. The Miracle Moment meditations increase and expand the quantum twine wave effect for every live participant, and with each additional QT wave and QTWE HHS connection. Every system added to the network increases the powerful, profound conscious quantum twine wave through each and every participating member. This is magnificent, coordinated, and collaborated communication with every device present in nano-fast times. As more QTWE HHS and QT waves join the live Zoom calls, the effect is amplified even more. Today, we will be guiding you through a meditation. It's important to note, this meditation will last about 20 minutes. We encourage you to remain present and aware throughout the session. If you experience visions or emotions, that's normal. Allow yourself to feel and acknowledge them and stay present. The meditation has several parts, each designed to guide you toward a deeper state of relaxation and connection with your inner divine essence. The first part focuses on inducing deep relaxation, allowing you to enter a state where your mind and body are receptive to transformation. The second part involves connecting with the quantum twine waves, Christ energies, and the God spark within you. This connection facilitates a profound alignment with the universal energies of love, healing, and wholeness. In the third part of the meditation, we expand upon your wellness, allowing you to fully experience and remember your innate wholeness and vitality. In the fourth part, we enter into a moment of serene silence. This silence provides an opportunity for quiet introspection and connection. This quiet reflection allows you to focus inward, tuning in to whatever thoughts, feelings, or insights arise within you. We also encourage you to strengthen your bond with the quantum twine waves during this silence, tuning in to their gentle presence and allowing their healing energies to flow freely within you. Finally, we conclude the meditation, bringing our practice to a gentle close, ensuring you feel grounded, centered, and rejuvenated. Remember, the quantum twine wave is scanning each participant head to toe, and then sending healing quantum twine waves as needed, wherever needed, as requested. In a moment, we will ask you to mute your microphones and speak out loud how you would like the quantum twine waves to assist you, whether it's supporting a specific part of your body or helping someone you care about. Express your intention clearly. Once you've stated your intention, take your QTWE device and place it on the part of your body where you want to focus attention and manifest change. If you don't have a device, you can place your hand wherever you would like to focus your attention. If you intend to support someone else, you can place your device or hand on the area of your own body where they need support. Remember, when you heal it in yourself, you heal it in others. Throughout this meditation, feel free to move the device or your hands to other areas as needed. If you have an HHS, please turn it to 20 now. At the end of the session, remember that the effects will continue to work, so if you feel the need to rest, take time to do so. Thank you for healing this beautiful world, starting with you. Let's begin by muting our microphones and stating our intentions out loud. Begin by allowing yourself to settle into your current position, feeling the natural comfort of your own presence. Now gently close your eyes and turn your attention inward. Notice the natural rhythm of your breath as it flows in and out. Take a full, deep breath. Feel this breath filling every part of your body, nurturing and soothing you from within. As you exhale, allow yourself to let go of tension and discomfort. Recognize that these sensations are not you. They are transient, merely passing through. With this realization, watch as they dissolve into nothingness, leaving no trace behind. You are boundless, free from these sensations and their definitions. With each breath, feel them dissipate as you become more present, more peaceful, and profoundly centered in your true essence. Now let's deepen your experience with a breathing exercise that will enrich your meditation, creating a beautiful synergy between your inner and outer worlds. Focus on the soft sound of your breath at the back of your nose, reminiscent of the gentle whispers of ocean waves. The audible sound of your breath, like the ocean waves, anchor you to the present, connecting the vastness of the outer world with the depths of your inner being, automatically establishing harmony and coherence between your body, mind, brain, heart, and all of your energetic and spiritual systems. There is nothing else to do but be in this moment, deeply relaxed, fully supported, and profoundly at peace. Now bring your attention to your body. Identify the part of your body that feels the most relaxed at this moment. It could be as small as the tip of a finger or as large as your entire back. Focus your attention on this area. Observe how this relaxation feels, how deep, how serene it is, and imagine this feeling beginning to spread. Like watercolor on wet paper, allow this sense of relaxation to expand, moving gently to neighboring areas in your body. With each breath, this soothing sensation grows, filling you up. Breathe deeply, rhythmically, and with full breaths. Imagine the relaxation spreading further and further. Notice that it's no longer just a part of you that's relaxed. Your entire being feels embraced by this calming energy. As you continue to breathe deeply, envision waves of relaxation cascading across your body. Each wave washes over you, bringing deeper calm and more profound peace. These waves are rhythmic, aligned with your breath, sweeping through you, around you, beneath you, and even beyond you. Feel yourself being carried by these waves of relaxation, deeper and deeper into a state of complete serenity. Here, in this space, you are free to explore the depths of your inner world and to dive into the vast ocean of you. Now, let's tune in to the quantum twine waves. Take a deep, full breath, allowing yourself to fully immerse in the presence of the quantum twine waves surrounding you. Feel these waves embracing you, infusing you, and offering their gentle support. As you inhale deeply, visualize the quantum twine waves penetrating your body from the crown of your head to your toes. Sense the waves flowing through you, fostering a profound connection and resonance with your perfect wholeness. With each exhale, release any tension or resistance, allowing the quantum twine waves to permeate every aspect of your being. Notice the sensations as these waves interact with your cells, filling them with radiant light and revitalizing energy. Experience the warmth and vitality of this divine presence as it spreads throughout your entire being. Acknowledge the presence of Christ consciousness, the sacred energy that embodies unconditional love, compassion, and healing within these waves. Feel this divine energy permeating every aspect of your being, illuminating your path and guiding you toward wholeness. As you breathe in, envision your cells awakening to the healing energy of the quantum twine waves and Christ consciousness. Feel a harmonious alignment spreading throughout your body as every cell vibrates in tune with waves of wholeness and unconditional love. Continue to breathe deeply. Surrender to the process of integration. Trust the quantum twine waves and Christ consciousness. Intuitively know where they are needed, guiding you toward a state of wholeness and well-being. Witness yourself as you bask in the deep sense of peace and relaxation that accompanies this surrender to divine energy. Now shift your awareness inward to the God spark residing within you. This sacred essence serves as your eternal connection to the source of creation, reminding you of your inherent divinity and sacredness. Feel the God spark igniting within you, filling you with a profound sense of purpose and empowerment. Witness as it radiates throughout your entire being, illuminating every cell with its divine light. Feel the quantum twine waves harmonizing with your God spark and the Christ energy, amplifying their power and potency. With each breath, these divine energies mingle and merge within you, creating a symphony of love and light that resonates throughout your entire being. As you continue to breathe and visualize, surrender to the profound transformation unfolding within you. Trust in the wisdom and guidance of these divine energies, knowing they are guiding you toward a deeper connection with your sacred self. Let this integration fill you with peace, strength, and healing as we transition into our meditation. Guided by the radiant light of the Christ energy, the unwavering presence of your God spark, and the powerful embrace of the quantum twine waves. Now nestle in, relax, and enjoy your miracle moment. Welcome to your miracle moment, designed to tap into the wellspring of wellness that resides within you. This journey begins with the understanding that the path to the collective healing starts at the core of our individual being. As we nurture and restore our own wellness and wholeness, we create ripples that extend beyond ourselves. In cultivating self-love, we find that love extends outward naturally. By healing ourselves, we lay the foundation to contribute to the healing of others. Every act of self-care is a stepping stone toward a healthier humanity, where healing ourselves becomes the catalyst for healing the world around us. Let's begin this process of transformation and embrace the wholeness that is our true nature. To begin, focus your attention inwardly and scan your body gently with your mind's eye. Notice how different areas of your body feel. As you continue this gentle observation, search for a spot within you where you feel a sense of wellness, wholeness, or joy. It might be a warm feeling in your heart, a lightness in your chest, or a calm space in your mind. Should you feel that a space of wellness isn't immediately apparent within your body, allow yourself to gently expand your search. It might reveal itself in a cherished memory, a hopeful vision of the future, or within the quiet depths of your spirit or soul. Trust that your wellness exists within you. in many forms and places, waiting for your recognition. Once you have found this spot of wellness, wholeness, or joy, focus your attention on it. Observe its qualities, how it feels, the sensations that come with it, the sense of completeness it brings. Breathe into this space, and with each breath, envision the sensations of wellness intensifying and becoming more vibrant. Whether it manifests as warmth, a sense of completeness, or an inner glow, feel it as it amplifies within you. Now, with intention, begin to allow this sensation of wellness to expand, like the warmth of the sun spreading at dawn. Let it gracefully move through your body. With each breath, it grows, filling you from head to toe, reaching into every cell, every space within you. Visualize this wellness, wholeness, and joy moving beyond the physical. See it extending into your energetic systems, illuminating them with its wholesome light. It brings balance to your emotions, clarity to your thoughts, and a deep sense of peace to your spirit. As you continue to breathe, a sense of complete wellness encompasses your entire being. You are in harmony with yourself, body, mind, and soul. In this space, you understand wellness, wholeness, and joy are at the heart of your natural state, a core part of who you are. Feeling this wholeness as a steady, unwavering presence within you. It's always there, always accessible. Anytime you wish to reconnect with this feeling, simply turn your focus inward. Now let's embrace a quiet moment together for about 5 minutes. This pause and guidance invites you to personally engage with the quantum twine waves, deepening your connection and enhancing your experience to its fullest potential. When you feel ready, gently bring your awareness back to the present moment. Take a few deep breaths, and when you open your eyes, carry this sense of wellness and wholeness with you, letting it infuse every moment of your day. As we conclude this meditation, step forward with confidence, knowing that the quantum twine waves continue to flow within you. Their positive influences remain active, extending far beyond our shared time in this space. Take this step and every step hereafter with the knowledge that you are blessed.
Yes, we are blessed, aren't we? Okay. Thank you guys for staying. Who would like to share? Anybody want to share an experience? No? You guys too much at peace? Nobody wants to share? Okay. Well, I'll share. I didn't go into a deep sleep today. That was good. The last 2 times I have been so deep. So not sure if that makes a difference or not, but I love that ending on that we are all blessed. So thank you for taking care of you and focusing on your health, because remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. And we have lots and lots of cups to fill in the coming days, weeks, and months. So it's fabulous that you are filling your love cup up so you can better serve yourself and all those around you. So let's go ahead and finish in Anjali Mudra. May you think only joyful thoughts to your lips. May you speak only kind words and to your heart. May you show love to yourself and to all of those around you. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make it a beautiful rest of your day, you guys. So appreciate you and hope to see you guys on Wow Can Breathe tomorrow. Okay. Have a great day. Love you guys.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Dr. John.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. John. It was
Oh,
great.
Dr. John stayed right on.
Yay.
Yay. He's so cool. All right, you guys. See you next time. Bye for now.